Have you ever noticed how tight hamstrings seem to affect everything, from the way you move to how your back feels to how easily you can relax? If you've been feeling stiff, restricted, or simply in need of a good stretch, well, you're in the right place. In today's soft flow yoga practice, we'll gently open the backs of the legs with friendly movement, focusing on triangle pose and seated forward fold. By the end of this class, you'll feel more length through your hamstrings, more freedom in your body, and hopefully a little more ease in your day. So I created this practice because I've experienced those days when everything feels so tight and movement feels harder than it should be. Well, whenever that happens, taking just a few minutes to slow down and breathe and stretch my hamstrings, it really helps me to feel more comfortable and grounded and connected to my body again. So whether you've been sitting at a desk all day, recovering from a workout, or simply just waking up feeling stiff like me, this practice is designed to meet you where you are. If you're ready to create a little bit more space in your body, go ahead and roll out your yoga mat and join me. And if you enjoy this class, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to create more practices for you. Well, that's it. Roll credits. Let's begin. Let's begin our practice in seated. Go ahead and sit on a yoga mat or a comfortable folded blanket or even a pillow. And for extra props today, you might want to have a yoga strap. And a block or two might also come in handy. So let's begin. So sit up nice and tall just for the length of your spine and just begin connecting to your breath by taking a few deep breaths. Nice full breath in, filling up your lungs, and exhale for the release. And just start to feel the breath as it moves through your body, taking these deep breaths in and out. And also listen to the sound of your breath. And these two simple things really help you to prepare for your practice, bring you to this moment to be more present, and truly to be more aware of yourself. You can even take a moment to set your personal intention for your practice. If you're feeling tight and stiff, maybe your intention is to feel more free and open. Good. One more deep breath in and out, and we'll add a very simple movement. Let's go ahead and add our arms. So with the breath in, let's extend the arms out and up, big stretch, reach high. And exhale, extend your arms out across the room with some effort and back down. Let's do that a few more times. So inhale, reaching out as if you'll touch the walls on either side of you. Reaching up, grabbing hold of the ceiling. Exhale, good energy in your hands and fingers, energy in your arms, your shoulders, and bring them back down. One more time. Inhale. Fill up your lungs, reaching high, and exhale. Good. If you like a little circle of your shoulders, let's continue opening up the body. Let's move into cat and cow to release the spine. You can do that by coming to your hands and knees. If you happen to have a blanket or something soft here for a little extra padding, you can use that. Beginning with cow pose, that's our inhale. So tip the pelvis back, feel the belly drop. There's the arched back, open the heart, lift the chin. Inhale, cow. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under, feel the curvature of the spine. Your belly button drawn up towards spine, chin to chest, cat. And just continue this gentle flow. Breathe and move at your own pace. The idea here is to feel some release through your back body, opening up the spine, adding some movement through your hips. Let's do two more. Inhale to cow, that's the back bend, opening your heart. Exhale, around the back. You might even engage your core as your belly button draws up towards spine. And just come to a neutral tabletop posture for a moment. Just find stillness for a few seconds. If you are using a blanket for some padding, let's go ahead and set that to the side for now. Let's come back to hands and knees. And set ourselves up for downward facing dog. So go ahead and step your hands forward, spreading out your fingers, feeling a good stretch between each finger. Press your palms flat into the mat. Opens the palms nicely, but also energizes the arms and keeps them strong and straight. Tuck your toes. Do another cat-cow series. So inhale for cow, exhale into cat, hold cat pose. And then lift your knees off the ground, slowly send your hips into the air. Make sure your knees stay bent so the hips can continue moving up, lengthening the spine, and your head and chest will just dip between the arms. We're going to hold here for a little bit. I'm going to have you pedal your feet like this. I call this walk the dog. Press one heel down as the other heel lifts. So you can feel a stretch perhaps in your calves, even your toes. So what I like to do is inhale as I transition. Exhale as I press one heel down, feeling that stretch. Inhale as I transition. Exhale, press. One more each side. Good, let's take several steps forward until the feet are flat on the mat. Slide your fingertips toward your toes for a forward fold. Let's inhale, slide hands up to shins to extend the spine. And exhale, fold again, but you don't have to go all the way down, just to a point where you start to feel a sensation in the backs of the legs. A little extra support. You can just bring some props over towards you, something that will bring some height. I've got my bolster in a block here just to give some height and support. So I can just kind of lean into these props here. And I'm in a forward fold, kind of a supported forward fold, so I can feel the energy and a bit of a stretch and engagement in the backs of the legs. This way, I don't feel like I'm straining my back by folding all the way down. And just a couple of breaths here. Sliding the props out of the way for now. Shift your weight into the heels, ready to stand. We're going to do that safely. Bend the knees to lower your hips. Bring hands to thighs, pressing into thighs to help you lift a little bit and extend the torso so you have a nice lengthened spine, getting out of that curved spine. Then continue standing. We'll get nice and tall with an inhale, reaching all the way up. And exhale, arms down to your side. And a little circle of the shoulders here. Alrighty, now we're just going to step right into triangle pose. So triangle pose is a wonderful lunge, certainly affects the hamstrings, but other parts of the body like the hips. Alrighty, so we'll stand at the top of the mat here. A little softness in the knees. I'm shifting weight into my right foot, even leaning forward slightly so I have some lightness in this left foot, so I can easily start tapping it back. Keeping the weight forward on this front foot until I can't get that back leg back anymore. I'm literally on the tip of my big toe. I'm going to shift the weight back. Now I'm on the balls of the foot there. Turn that leg and plant the heel. So I've got a little bit of a distance between the feet here. I'm going to extend this front leg. Now, you can certainly keep this short distance. I'm going to step back just a tiny bit. You don't have to go too wide for triangle pose for the legs. And then place hands on hips, pushing pelvis down, or imagine you're pushing the pelvis down and lifting up. Now imagine you're also holding on to a bowl of soup, let's say. And it's nice and level right here. But we're going to tip that bowl of soup and pour it down the right leg. Okay, this is getting us ready for our triangle pose. And you just go to the point where just kind of feel that natural stop. Don't have to go too far with this either. So I'm pretty sideways here, facing you. And I'm just going to extend this right hand down and just kind of lands at the knee and extend the left arm up. So this can be our triangle pose. Alrighty. Now we're just finding the position, but we're going to actually let the arms relax so we can really concentrate more on the legs here. So I'm just going to slowly bring this left arm down. I like to put hands on hips because it helps me to support my hips. I'm just trying to feel this nice light stretch through the right leg here. Take some deep breaths. So it's a variation of triangle pose, mainly standing in a lunge, not too much distance between the feet. Lengthen straight legs so as we tip over towards the front leg, the leg that's being affected here, getting a stretch. All right, to get out of the pose, what I'd like to do is bend the right knee to add some leverage, making sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle there. So I have some good leverage, and just come back up. I'm just going to spin over to the other side. So I'm just going to straighten the leg, spin the right set of toes towards you, and my left foot that direction. You can also make some adjustments. So starting again, hands on hips, holding on to that bowl of soup. Let's pour it out, down the left leg now. And just come to that natural stop. Getting in place here, go ahead and start with the extension of the arms, reaching down, reaching up, opening up through the front body. Now, the full name of the pose is actually extended triangle pose. And you can feel that that's what's happening. You're extending, reaching up, reaching down. Nice long torso, strong straight legs, reaching in all of these directions, even through the crown of your head. All right, let's go ahead and relax this arm, bringing it down. You can just kind of rest just like this. Again, I like to bring hands to hips. It just feels like I have a little more support. Because I'm able to tip over just a little bit more, just adding more sensation in the back of the leg. Now, these don't have to be deep, strong, intense sensations, just enough where it feels okay, you know the body is working, and you can hold this. So a couple more breaths. All right, same thing to come out of the pose, using the leverage of this front leg by bending the knee, not going past the heel or ankle. Leverage to come back up, and there we are. I'm going to spin and kind of face the other side here, shifting weight towards this front foot, bringing this foot forward, back foot forward, and stepping together, standing up nice and tall, reaching both arms up, and exhale, arms back down. All right, so that's our triangle pose. Let's finish our practice seated as we get into the seated forward fold, getting a nice stretch for the hamstrings. So again, I'm just going to come back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, swan dive forward. So spreading your wings, bend your knees, sitting back into the imaginary chair. Carefully and slowly folding, not really needing to go all the way down. There's that hamstring stretch again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees enough so you can reach the floor with your hands. And then we'll step the feet back into plank pose, lowering the hips to about shoulder level, just adding a bit of strength through the whole body here for a few seconds. And then gently bringing knees to the earth, sitting back into our hero pose. Just very briefly here. So I'm just going to sit off to the side, move the legs around in the front here. I'm going to bring in my blanket again, just for something soft to sit on. And you can also use a strap for this next thing. So I will actually use my strap. So if you happen to have a strap, let's go ahead and use that, or a belt or a jump rope, something long that you can use. Now, it's nice for soft flow. I like to use a lot of props. One sitting on a blanket, for example, and then since we've got a bolster, you can just use a pillow or some cushions or even a couple of blocks. This is a pretty big cushion, but I'm going to get them underneath. Get it underneath the legs here so the knees can stay naturally bent here and more relaxed. Then I can do my forward fold. I'm going to get the strap around the feet here. It's a long strap, so I'm going to get them wrapped around my hands. And I just tug a little bit with an inhale to extend the spine, And exhale, another tug, gently folding forward. Now initially, for me, in this particular pose, since I'm using this bolster, which is pretty big, I'm first feeling a stretch in my back as I'm rounding my spine. So that can feel good, which is a wonderful benefit of doing a seated forward fold. Okay, so this could be part of the intention of your practice. If you need a little bit more in the hamstring, I think I do. This pillow, like I said, is a little bit too high, too bulky for my bent knees. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that bolster for now. Use this block instead. I think that works. That way the legs are a little bit straighter for me here. Still have the curvature of the spine, but I can fold, and yes, now I'm starting to feel a bit more in the hamstrings. So just finding that comfortable position. Supported with props if you'd like, holding onto the strap. You can even lower your head here. Taking some deep breaths. You know, if you're planning on holding this for a significant amount of time, which you're very welcome to do, which will really help open up the hamstrings, then this pillow would really come in handy, especially a nice cushy one. Putting it in your lap, and you can kind of drape over it, and you feel a little bit more relaxed here. This is quite nice. So, stretching the back, stretching the legs, but comfortably folded. This is a wonderful pose just to hold. Now, of course, you can hold this as long as you like. I'm going to go ahead and come to the close of the practice here. So if you happen to be using this nice cushion on the lap, we'll certainly set that to the side. If you're holding onto the strap, go ahead and release that as well. What I like to do here is, because the back is rounded, the head is lower here, free the hands and reach forward and start to rise up, reaching into the air. So you start to re-extend the upper body, big stretch, just like standing in extended mountain pose, reaching the arms up. And then we can go ahead and bring the arms down. I'm just going to move these props out of the way for now. Strap, block. Go ahead and turn to face you. Crossing the legs if you'd like. And coming back to breath. Nice full breath in. Exhale. Good. And one last movement together. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart space. And take one last breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.